So, you're joining us as we're walking along a section of the Welsh coastal path from Gwbert to Mwnt. The path is roughly 870 miles in total and is one of the most popular hiking routes in all of the UK. But today we're just doing a nice 5-mile round. Over the next few minutes I'm going to cover a little bit of history of the area, starting with Mwnt Beach, which is just coming into shot there. Years ago I'd heard it said that Mwnt Beach was carved out by a glacier, and I really like that imagery of a huge chunk of ice just moving down and carving out this perfectly square beach. Despite the imagery being quite beautiful, I'm not sure it's that accurate. It is true that during the last ice age, glaciers covered much of Wales and reshaped the landscape, but Mwnt Beach is located outside of the main glaciated area, as far as I can tell. Even if Mwnt Beach wasn't carved by a humongous glacier, and rather shaped by the forces of waves, tides and coastal erosion over millions of years, it's still a stunning and very unique beach, and which is why it attracts visitors from all over the world. Here we're just coming up to the lime kiln at Mwnt. If you've walked any of the coastal paths in Wales, you'll know that lime kilns are a familiar sight. Many of them date from the 18th and 19th centuries, and this one is thought to be from the early 19th century. The lime kilns were typically constructed from local stone and situated close to the waterways, allowing for easy transportation of materials from the ships. Upon being heated in the lime kiln, the stone would break down, releasing carbon dioxide and leaving behind calcium oxide, or quicklime, which was then used by local farmers to improve the soil quality and also used to build a lot of the local buildings. Which leads us nicely to talk about Eglwys Y Grog, or Church of the Holy Cross, or just simply Mwnt Church. The church is a small medieval building whose history is shrouded in mystery, with no written records of its construction or early years. According to local legend, the church was founded by Saint Gwyndaf, a 6th century Welsh saint, after he saw a vision of angels descending from heaven and landing on the spot where the church now stands. The earliest surviving written record of Mwnt Church dates back to the 13th century, when it was mentioned in the Taxatio Ecclesiastica, a record of church property and income compiled for the Pope. In the 15th century, Mwnt Church was extensively rebuilt and enlarged, with the addition of a new nave, chancel and tower. During the English Civil War in the 17th century, Mwnt Church was used as a garrison for royalist troops. After the war, the church fell into disrepair, and by the 18th century it was described as a ruinous chapel. Nearly 200 years later, the church was restored and renovated, thanks in part to the efforts of the local squire John Ladd, who paid for much of the work. Its location, so close and overlooking the sea, has led some to speculate that it was built as a church for sailors. While it's true that the church's location would have made it easily accessible for sailors, there's not any real evidence to suggest that it was specifically built for that purpose. Today, Eglwys Y Grog is still an active place of worship, and visitors can attend services or simply explore the historic building and its surroundings. Just over a year ago, the church was badly vandalised, but the community came together and started raising funds, and in the end £30,000 was raised from all over the world. And I'm really pleased that the church has been able to be repaired and is still in such a lovely condition to visit today.